Hello everyone, and welcome to your, well, not the last final video, but this is now the actual last final video. This one is to help you constrain and get your carriage to move around the track once you have actually built the carriage. We will not help you build the carriage, but if you need any hints, well, it's pretty similar to building the train, just minus a lot of the parts. So as you can see, we've gone a little further than what you need to do, but it's the same principle, so I'll simply explain that principle. So, you have the same track, and you have the same standard.iam that you originally built your train going around the track in. That's important. Then what you're going to do is you're going to hit place, and you're going to place your completed carriage, whatever it may be. For your carriage wheel and wheel peg, I suggest you just use the same ones as the train. It makes it a lot easier, trust me. And you are also going to place one extra pivot for each one of these extra carriages. It's pretty typical to just do one. There's no extra bonus for doing two, we just chose to. Anyway, what you're going to do to make this work is you're going to constrain these pivots together, if you look over here, with an insert constraint. I'll just use this first one, and you would click on the top part of one to the bottom part of another one for the pivots. I won't actually do this right now since it's already together, but that's the idea. And then what you will also do is, after that, go over to angle constraint, go to a directed angle constraint, which is the first choice. You will click on the same side of both of them and offset it by some amount of degrees so that they're offset like this. Then you will proceed to constrain the carriage to the train, or rather, to the track, much like you did the train to the track, but you'll do it with that new pivot, and that'll get you your amount of degrees off so that it looks like this. Believe it or not, these carriages being connected right here is not actually what's making them go around. It's just the pivots, much like that's how the train works. But what you're going to use here is another insert constraint to insert the carriage's pegs to each other. However, that won't actually be too relevant. What will be mostly relevant is if you properly follow these same constraints you used for the train for these. Now, the one thing you are not going to do is the drive constraint, where we made you, turn a piece of track invisible, and then do a flush constraint from the back to the back of the pivot. That's already happened once. It only needs to happen once because these pivots are all constrained together. So the big thing, part that actually makes this hard, is getting the wheels to all move the same way. So what you need to do is open up the wheel and edit the wheel. So let's do that real quick. One moment. There we go. And let's see, edit. So this is actually going to affect 8 wheels here. And I'm going to scroll up a little bit. I'm going to open up my origin. And I'm going to hit plane. XY plane. I'm going to scroll in a little. And I am going to set it where I need it. Yep, I'll just click and drag this plane to right there. Which is about where I need it. Then I'll hit return. As you notice, I now have work planes on all of the wheels. It's magical, it's wonderful, it's exactly what I need. So now, what I do is I open up constraints, and I just go to the angle constraints, and I constrain the wheels together, much like I did for the train body. So, back to front, it's an important one. One moment, back to back, another important one. And back to front. Don't need to use the fourth one, doesn't matter. Then what I'm going to do, and this is the part where you have to pay attention, I'm going to go over to motion. You see I have the assembly motion and then transitional and constraint set. I'm going to go over to motion. I'm going to click on the first type called rotation. I'm going to click on the first solution called forwards. It is important you click forwards, and it's important it's the first type. And what I will do is click on this first wheel on this inner part. As you can see, the circle is going around clockwise. And I will do that. And then I will go back, and I will make sure the circle is spinning the same way, that same clockwise manner, on one of these wheels. I will click on that. I will hit apply. I will close that. Now, as you can see, all of these wheels move together. Now, part of that's because I've already constrained this back one. But as you can see, all of these wheels now move together in the same way. And all you have to do is be sure you use that angle, or sorry, not that angle constraint, that motion constraint. There is another way to do this that involves a lot of angle constraints. You may find that on the internet or whatever. It certainly works. I have just discovered while messing around with Inventor that this is definitely the quicker way to do this. So with that, you should just be able to drive your angle 4 or angle whatever it is that's your drive angle, and you should be good to go for the entire train and carriage going around the track. Thank you.